With West Virginia starting quarterback Garrett Greene going down with an injury in the Pitt game this past Saturday, backup quarterback Nicco Marchiol, the highly recruited Nicco Marchiol, had to come in relief. Well, it looks like Nicco is going to be the starter this coming Saturday against Texas Tech. Could this be the beginning of a new era? And could Nicco usher in that era for West Virginia Mountaineers football? Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and we're going to talk about it right after this word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. Belly yourself up to the bar and let me serve you up a shot of top-shelf college football content. On tap in today's episode, we are talking about the quarterback position at West Virginia and how Nicco Marchiol is likely going to be the starter going into this game against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. We all know what happened. Second series of the game this past Saturday night, Garrett Greene goes down, has a lower body injury, looks like an ankle, something like that. He misses the rest of the game. We're all left wondering, when is Garrett going to be back? Will he be back? Well, in today's press conference, Coach Brown said it was too early to tell. Garrett did not practice today, which is Monday. I'm recording this video on Monday, the 18th. Said he will not practice tomorrow, Tuesday the 19th. And guys, remember, they got to play Saturday. So if he misses 2 or 3 days of practice and is not able to participate and work on the game plan they have coming up against Texas Tech, it's very unlikely he'll play. Coach Brown also said that if he can't do what he does best, which is be athletic, then he won't play. And it's going to be hard to be athletic on an ankle sprain. From what I'm hearing, I've had some folks reach out to me, tell me that he has a high ankle sprain. And folks, I don't know what you know about high ankle sprains, but in my years of watching sports, high ankle sprains are typically several weeks. It's not typically season ending necessarily, but it's usually a few weeks anyway. So it's very, very unlikely that Garrett Greene will play this week, even though, I could be wrong. He could end up playing, but it's very highly unlikely. But when I look at this, when it first happened Saturday night, I was at the game and I'm thinking, man, could this be another Pat White situation? We all remember that, and I was actually at that game too. When Bednarik went down, Pat White comes in, they come back, beat Louisville in triple overtime. Bada bing, bada boom, history's made. We all know what happened. Well, it didn't turn out to be quite like that. I mean, Nicco obviously didn't go out and have a Pat White type game, but he did lead his team to a victory. So you got to give him kudos for that. And it's actually the second time he's done that, coming on in relief of Greene. But this coming Saturday is an opportunity for him to have one of those moments, one of those, what I'll call a Pat White type moment. It just might be a week later. Could this be a turning point for the West Virginia football program? When you look back through the history of Mountaineer football, every great or even good West Virginia team had one thing in common, and that was good quarterback play. I mean, you can go all the way back even before Major Harris, but let's just start there. You had Major Harris, you had Mark Bulger, you had Rasheed Marshall, you had Pat White, Geno Smith, Skylar Howard, Will Greer. We really have not had that really, really good, solid, consistent quarterback play since then, since Neal Brown's arrival here. That's the one position they have struggled to find consistency. And until he gets that, it will be difficult for him to win at a level that Mountaineer Nation will be happy with. Let's face it, folks. Now, you insert Nicco, the 4-star recruit from the other side of the country who played his high school football in Chandler, Arizona. Could he be the one who turns the tide for Neal Brown and the West Virginia football program? If that is to happen, this Saturday could be the beginning of that. Or you could even say this past Saturday was the beginning of that, maybe. Will he do it by throwing it 50 times? Probably not. But he will definitely need to throw it a lot more than he did a lot more than 9 times like he did this past weekend, because he's going up against that Zach Keatley offense of Texas Tech, and they are a much better offense than what we just played. And we're going to have to score a lot more than 17 points to beat Texas Tech, in my opinion. Now, if West Virginia can run the ball well, which I have no doubt they will be able to do, and Nicco can just throw the ball, 15, 20, 25 times and do it effectively and have a few big plays, plus make good decisions in the RPO game like he's proven he can do, I think that's a recipe for success and could very well win the game against the Texas Tech Red Raiders and get that monkey off of the back of Neal Brown and this staff and this team, because they're 0-4 against Texas Tech. We all know that. They're the one team he's yet to beat since he's been coach at West Virginia. Then if Nicco can do that again the following week against TCU on the road, I think it becomes harder and harder at that point for Neal Brown to take Marchiol out and put Greene back in, even if Greene's healthy, because they'd be winning. They would be 2-0 in the Big 12. They'd be 4-1 on the season at that point. I just don't think you can make the change. Now, any of you who watch this channel can see, I am a Garrett Greene fan. I love the kid, love the young man, I should say. I've loved his loyalty. I love his moxie. I love his passion, his emotion that he plays with, his toughness. He's got everything you want in a leader on a football team. But at the end of the day, I want West Virginia football to win. That's number one, first and foremost. And if Nicco is able to do that, and gives us a better chance, gives West Virginia a better chance to do that, then he's my guy, right? I just want him the best guy to win the job. And I would not want to see Garrett lose the job because of injury. I never want to see that, but that's just part of the game. We've seen it happen time and time again. I mentioned, Adam Bednarik earlier, who Pat White came in for. Tom Brady won his job because of the injury to Drew Bledsoe. I mean, it happens. It's part of football. I hope Garrett can come back and be healthy. I do. Perfect case scenario will be him to come back, be healthy, lead him to victory the rest of the season. Then Nicco come in and replace him, after he leaves, and then him be the guy after that. But y'all know that we don't live in a perfect world, right? It doesn't always happen the way you draw it up. And I really think, though, and I really have confidence that Nicco can do it. Even though he's only a redshirt freshman, and even though the playbook was very limited for him this past week, I have all the confidence in the world. As much as I love Garrett Greene, I have all the confidence in the world that Nicco can come in and play quality winning football for West Virginia. Despite what some of the naysayers or folks on the outside might think, I have a ton of faith in him. One of those naysayers, for example, friend of the show, JJ Kitchen, he and I did our Backyard Brawl preview show last week together. He's a Pitt fan. He's a friend of mine. I like him. But I went and watched his preview of the game the other day, and he basically trashed our quarterback, guys. Not only Garrett, but also Nicco, and said they were terrible. I don't buy that. And I think Nicco has a chance to go out and prove him and others wrong this Saturday. Because when you look even though he only threw 9 passes, he was throwing some lasers. He threw some really good balls on slants, on out routes. And I think he can continue that and even expand on that against Texas Tech, especially when he has a full week of preparation and practice with the first string. I think his timing with the receivers will improve, and in turn, the faith that the staff puts in him will improve. And then they'll open up that playbook, allow him to go down the field more and draw up more plays in the passing game for him. Nicco has a chance and an opportunity here to take the bull by the horns and go out Saturday against Texas Tech, assuming he starts, prove the world wrong, prove me wrong, who I was saying from day one Greene should be starting over him. He can prove me wrong. He can prove others wrong. And he can prove that the hype surrounding his recruitment was real. And it's a chance for him not only to play well for himself, but to, like I said, to be the quarterback that turns around the fortunes of the head coach that he wanted to play for, as well as the state and university he chose to represent. As a matter of fact, the more I think about it, the more I think that Saturday, September the 16th, 2023, is a day that all of us Mountaineer fans will look back on as a day that West Virginia football got back on track, turned things around, and it is the day that we will remember the Nicco Marchiol era beginning in Morgantown, West Virginia. Let me know in the comment section, Couz's Corner family, what do you think about this great opportunity coming up for Nicco Marchiol if he gets to start on Saturday? Do you think he has an opportunity to seize this moment and become the next great West Virginia Mountaineer quarterback, the best one we've had since Will Greer back in 2018? Do you think that, or do you think we are in trouble if Nicco has to start on Saturday? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Also, you see names scrolling along the bottom of the screen here. Those are the names of my pub level VIP members here at the channel. If you want to become a member, hit the join button below, become a channel member, join the VIP club. There are 2 levels, the pub level, which is scrolling along the screen now, and the club level, which you saw earlier. That's the $4.99 level. There are a few extra perks that go along with that level. That's an easy way to support the show here. If you don't want to make a one-time donation, you just want to make recurring donations, that's the way you do that. If you do want to make a one-time donation, you can hit the heart button with a $sign in it It's a super thanks. You can also make a donation to my PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, which all of those are in my description box. You can also check out my merch store. Get yourself a T-shirt, get yourself a hat, a coffee mug, all kinds of different things to choose from, several different designs. If you want to support me for free, all you have to do is hit the thumbs up button, leave that comment below, share it with your family and friends, or subscribe to the channel. All of that helps the YouTube algorithm, helps my channel grow organically. And I appreciate any of the help you can provide, whether it's free or if you're able to support me financially. I appreciate it all the same. With that being said, I really appreciate you tuning in to this episode. And until the next one, Q Country Roads.